Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Raw Reactions. I'm your host, Glenn Thomas, 1/4 of the Wrestling Marks of Excellence, which you can hear each and every Thursday night on Fox Sports Radio, 1340 AM and 96.9 FM. I want to talk about Monday Night Raw. This past Monday Night Raw coming from Toronto, Canada. We saw a lot of things on Monday Night Raw, which were good and some that were bad, but let's get this thing started like we normally do with the Raw opening. On this Monday Night Raw, we saw the opening from Raw. We saw Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns mix it up in the ring after last week's incident where the Shield put Braun Strowman through a table. They're interacting in the ring, and we now have a Hell in a Cell match between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship. But before they even got done finishing their promo, we had Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre come out, and Dolph did his normal thing, saying that these two guys will not coexist or will not work. And the new general manager, Baron Corbin, the general manager for the week, made a tag team match later on in the evening for Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre to take on Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. With him being the new general manager for the week while Kurt Angle was on vacation, Baron Corbin put himself in a match trying to avenge his SummerSlam loss against Finn Balor. Well, against the Demon, per se. The alter ego of Finn Balor. Baron Corbin made this match a disqualification match, a no DQ match, and he gets to win over Finn Balor. Love to see what WWE is going to do with Finn Balor. Finn Balor just came off a Universal title match with Roman Reigns, and then he's subjected yet again to go back to facing Baron Corbin. WWE needs to be consistent with Finn Balor and need to put Finn Balor in a place where he can be move up on the card. And I'll get to that a little bit later with Finn Balor. I think I have a good opponent for Finn Balor. But then we move on. Coming off commercial break, we saw Sasha Banks take on Dana Brooke after Titus O'Neil put Dana Brooke in a match with Sasha Banks. No, we haven't seen Dana Brooke in a match in about many months on the WWE television. But nonetheless, Sasha Banks gets the quick win over Dana Brooke. And the Boston Hug connection is rolling strong. I'd like to see where WWE goes with this. They've been feuding over the last couple months now. They're best buddies, but there's nowhere for them to go. They're not in the WWE Raw title picture right now. They just subjected to taking on random women on Monday Night Raw. Bayley and Sasha Banks, at least they're on TV each and every week, which is good to see. But that storyline needs to develop. Either they need to break up, or they need to stay together, or WWE needs to start the women's tag team division real quickly, because it really can't break up, because that's the story on SmackDown. But nonetheless, between Becky Lynch and Charlotte, but nonetheless, Sasha Banks gets to win on Monday Night Raw. Then we move on to the next match of the night, which was the IC title match. Seth Rollins had another open challenge since he became the IC champion. It's going back to what he did months ago before losing it to Dolph Ziggler, that he is now he's a fighting champion. He's going to open up to anybody and everybody. So one who accepts the challenge, none other than Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens accepts the challenge of Dolph Ziggler. Of Seth Rollins. And Seth, very good match between these two guys, but Kevin Owens comes up just a little bit short again against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is still your Intercontinental Champion, which prompted the next thing to happen with Kevin Owens. As you see, Kevin Owens had his head on his head. We come back from a commercial break. Kevin Owens puts a chair in the middle of the ring, and he just says, "Look, basically, I quit. I'm leaving the WWE. You're not treating me like I'm supposed to be treated. You're not doing what you need to be doing to me. So I am not staying here. I'm quit. I'm taking my ball, and I'm going home." Be interested to see where the WWE comes with this storyline with Kevin Owens, and see how they bring Kevin Owens back into the fold and put him back where he rightfully belongs, which is in the title picture up in the upper tier of main eventers. This guy is money, and whatever he does, he takes it and he runs with it, and he does very well with it. Nonetheless, Kevin Owens says he's quits the WWE and he's going home. Then we had next we had tag team title match where we saw the Revival take on the B team in a 9 title match. But nonetheless, as you see the picture here, the Revival wins. They do not win the tag team titles per se, but it's only a matter of time. It's a matter of time before the Revival become the tag team champions, and this picture will be reality. The B team picks up their first tag team title loss, first loss as a tag team on Monday Night Raw, or as being together, first tag team loss together as the B team. The Revival Good to see these guys both healthy. I think WWE should have did this years ago when they first got called up, but the Revival couldn't stay healthy. It's about time for these guys to get the title, need to take it over off of the B team, which was they had a great run and still have a run as tag team champions. But I suspect a Hell in a Cell that the B team will lose their tag team titles to the Revival. And this picture right here will be reality. The Revival will be your new Raw tag team champions. Then we move on to the nostalgia moment of the night by being in Toronto. We saw Elias come out and do his normal stick, sing in the ring. But we got to talk about Toronto, but then we got Toronto's very own WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus, who made her way to the arena. And her and Elias had a very good promo back and forth between each other, jabbing at each other. Trish still looks good for her age, and I'm looking forward to Trish at the Evolution pay-per-view to see her and Alexa Bliss lock it up. Trish wearing her Hall of Fame ring as she normally does, has been being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. But before the promo could get finished and moving on to the next match, we had Alexa Bliss, who comes out along with Alicia Fox, because the matchup will be Alicia Fox taking on Natalya. But nonetheless, Trish Stratus doesn't go anywhere. Ronda Rousey comes out, Natalya comes out, and Trish stays in the ring. Alexa Bliss comes out and talking to Ronda Rousey, as well as her opponent for the Evolution pay-per-view. And she told Ronda Rousey, look, I am revoking, I know it's invoking, but Alexa had a mess up there. I'm invoking my rematch clause at Hell in a Cell, so it will be Ronda Rousey taking on Alexa Bliss at Hell in a Cell for the Raw Women's Championship. And she told Trish, hey, I'll see you at Evolution, but nonetheless, they replaced you with me, and I am the star right now of Monday Night Raw. Alexa Bliss is one of the top heels in the company. Lover or hater, she's very good at what she does. But we finally had a match where Natalya took on Alicia Fox. Natalya gets to win at the sharpshooter, Natalya's first match on television since her passing of her father, and she gets to win with the sharpshooter over Alicia Fox, which sets up later on in the night. We'll see Natalya backstage with the Bella Twins along with Ronda Rousey, which we will find out they will have a match later on in Australia, taking on Alexa Bliss, taking on Alicia Fox and Alexa Bliss. Then we will move on to Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley took on the Ascension. This is another person that WWE has to find something for. We saw Bobby Lashley in a terrible program with Sami Zayn. We saw Bobby Lashley in a decent program with Roman Reigns. And now we find Bobby Lashley taking on the Ascension on Monday Night Raw. They need to find something for Bobby Lashley. He is a player in this game, need to be thrown into the Universal title picture sooner or later after Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns finish their thing. My thing is, take Bobby Lashley, take Finn Balor, put these two guys together. I told you I had an opponent for Finn Balor. Get Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor to fight to become the #1 contender for the Universal Championship. Some way, somehow, WWE needs to get this guy rolling. Since he's been back, some of the programs he's been in have been lackluster, to say the least. But I love the aggression from Bobby Lashley, and he's moving and he's doing things the right way with much aggression. So WWE, take a tip. Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley, #1 contendership for the Universal title. Let's get it done. Then we move on to Dean Ambrose. The returning Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose takes on Jinder Mahal here. Dean Ambrose gets the win over Jinder Mahal. Very good match between both of these guys. Jinder Mahal is one of those spots where I think the Raw brand is too much for him. Should have stayed on SmackDown along with Bobby Roode, who wasn't even included on this episode of Monday Night Raw. Bobby Roode definitely needs to go back to SmackDown, or they need to find something for him. IC title picture, turn him heel. But Bobby Roode is too much of a good talent not to be on Monday Night Raw each and every week. So along with Jinder Mahal, we forget that Jinder Mahal was the WWE champion for months, was the headline, the top heel in the company for months. Now he's taking on Dean Ambrose, which is not a back seat. He's both a mid-carders right now in this situation or in this place. So we should see Jinder Mahal move up, or either go back to SmackDown. But nonetheless, Dean Ambrose gets the win over Jinder Mahal. Good to see Dean Ambrose back in the WWE ring in single competition. Then we moved on to the main event of the night, where it was Roman Reigns taking on Braun Strowman. This match went back and forth. Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman taking on Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. As you see from the picture, that it was a turn, ladies and gentlemen. Braun Strowman is now a heel. For all those months of baby faces run that he had, having a tag team, a teenager as his tag team partner, a young man as his tag team partner, from winning Money in the Bank to winning the greatest Royal Rumble. Now he has turned heel and aligned himself with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre as they take out the Shield to close Monday Night Raw. It was good to see. One of these guys had to do something. Either the Shield had to be heel, or Braun Strowman had to be heel, and there was no way in the world that the Shield were going to be healed. A heel tag team, all the pop they got last week when they reunited. This right here will be a good matchup, as we will see Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman eventually take on the Shield. I'm saying now this is going to be booked for Australia. They are really stacking that Australia card up to be a very, very good card. Braun Strowman as a heel is a good thing. Love to see Braun Strowman. You need that antagonist, and to align himself with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre is good for business. Very good for business. And that's how Raw closed out, with the Shield laying in the ring, Dean Ambrose laying in the ring, Roman Reigns laying in the ring, Seth Rollins laying in the ring, and the heels close the show. It's always fun to see when the heels close the show on Monday Night Raw, because it leaves that anticipation for the next week's show. And with Monday Night Football getting ready to crank up, WWE needs something to continue to keep the fans in tune with wrestling. Because most fans are football fans, and what we do is we switch back and forth, but Raw keeps us in tune each and every week. We move on. Some of the major announcements that came out for Monday Night Raw was, as I mentioned earlier, got the Hell in a Cell match, which is official, between Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss, which will take place at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Another match that is official will be Roman Reigns taking on Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship, which this would actually be a Hell in a Cell match. So this match will actually be being put into the Hell in a Cell. And then another major announcement from Monday Night Raw this past week was announced that Shawn Michaels, that's right, the Heartbreak Kid himself, will be on Monday Night Raw next week. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, WWE is doing something to combat Monday Night Football, and what a better way to do it than have the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, be on Monday Night Raw next week. Just imagine he's going to talk about The Undertaker and Triple H, their last match ever, as we saw on a promo from this past Monday Night Raw, where a lot of the former superstars, The Big Show, Stone Cold Steve Austin, was talking about the match between The Undertaker and Triple H. So I imagine Shawn Michaels would do the same next week on Monday Night Raw. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me for my reactions to Monday Night Raw. Leave a comment below. Always hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you never miss anything from the Wrestling Marks of Excellence. Also hit subscribe to us on Twitter at WME Podcast. Also follow us on Instagram at WME Podcast as well. Hey, check out our sponsor, Organifi, promo code Wrestling15. The link is also in the description down below. Click on it. And just check us out tomorrow night as we give you an update on WWE SmackDown. See where the world title picture goes from there. See what Samoa Joe and AJ Styles have in store for us. See where Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy will go there. And see the U.S. title, Shinsuke Nakamura. See what happens on SmackDown. We'll give you updates and reports. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. I'm Glenn Thomas. Good night.